What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Braxton Family Value Season 7, Episode 4. So listen, this episode ain't really giving me a whole lot, so I'm just going to go sister by sister, okay? We're going to start off with Tawanda. Tawanda is on lockdown. Her boo thing done flown in from LA. They thought that the quarantine would only be a couple of weeks. 4 or 5 months later, honey, he is still there. And they are playing house. And Tawanda is like, I could get used to this. I love the fact that he's here. He's being a father figure to my children, to my sons, teaching him how to cut the grass and do things. And, you know, he's jumped right in and it's been really great. And I really appreciate that, you know, he came to stay with us while the pandemic, not knowing what was going to happen or how this whole thing was going to go down. Tawanda is ready to get married. Okay, she is ready for the ring. She said that her husband, her ex-husband, is not. She said he ain't in the picture at all. He has no relationship with the kids. He doesn't keep in touch. And she says, I haven't even talked to him in forever. So not only are they not in each other's life, he's not a part of the kid's life. And, you know, I have a problem with that, especially since he was basically like the manny, right? Like, while Tawanda was traveling and spending all this time with with Tony, wasn't he the one mainly taking care of the kids? Wasn't that one of his complaints? And now you done went ghost? Okay. She decides that, you know, it's safe to start traveling. Well, let me finish up this. So we see scenes with her and the boyfriend going cycling and doing all of that. And, you know, they're talking about marriage. But he said, listen, you need to get another man's name up off you before. He's like, I ain't trying to marry no woman, and every time I look at her hand, I got to see another man's name. Now, you know, Tawanda's got that tattoo right here. And I never knew what the tattoo said. Well, baby, the tattoo is her ex-husband's name, child. And so he was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I mean, she said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. He was like, all right, but when you do it, then we'll talk about a ring. So then we saw him call the dad and say, hey, you know, I got some things I want to talk to you about. You know, I'm going to come up to Maryland to see you. This is not a phone conversation. So I guess he getting ready to have the, can I have your daughter's hand in marriage conversation. So then we saw Tawanda on her way to come visit their dad. She said, you know, and here's the thing that be cracking me up. She was like, well, you know, I want to check on my dad. You know, he likes to go out for walks and he's home by himself. And I just want to make sure he's being safe and that he's okay. I'm like, why y'all keep acting like that man don't have a whole wife? You might not like that woman. I get it. But it's not like he lived by himself and he an invalid. Like your daddy was pop locking, dropping it at the wedding. And he got a whole wife. Now, if you want to check on your daddy because he your daddy, ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't make up all these other reasons. Girl, you just want to go see your daddy. It's okay. It's okay. Now, while she there, she want to go see Tracy. She called Tracy like she want to come and visit. And Tracy was like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Tawanda was like, what you mean you don't know how you feel about that? She was like, I don't know how I feel about you coming to see me. Shout. But Tawanda cracked me up. Tawanda was like, girl, ain't nobody trying to hear all of that. I want some crabs when I come up there. Tracy was like, girl, I eat crabs every day. And I feel you, Tracy, because we right up here with the crabs. Y'all know during the summer, y'all remember I was going to get crabs at least 2-3 times a week. Y'all know what I was doing. She said, yeah, that's right. You don't get crabs like we get crabs. But girl, I eat crabs all the time. I don't know. Tawanda was like, listen, I'm coming to see you when I'm in town and I want some crabs. Okay. And Tracy was like, I don't know how I feel about that. We're gonna get back to Miss Tracy. Tony. No, we're gonna hold on. Let's get Trina out the way because Trina ain't got a lot going on. Trina is a newlywed with Vaughn. The mama was there at the beginning of COVID, but once things started opening back up in Atlanta, mama went home. She was like, I'm ready to go back and be in my place. So she went home. So Vaughn and Trina are just being newlyweds, child. Now I did see where it was a very interesting interaction between Vaughn and Trina's son. It sounds like Trina's son has left the house and come back, and Vaughn was making some comments about, basically like, yeah, isn't this nice? Wouldn't it be nice if you were in your own place? And I was like, what's that about? And then Vaughn said something about the son being weird because he walks around at night trying to scare them or something. And Trina was like, don't call my baby weird. And he was like, listen, Vaughn was like, listen, I know I'm weird. So if he is more weird than I am, I can call him weird. He weird. And I was like, this is really a weird interaction. And then Trina was like, well, Vaughn, he doesn't want him to move out because he doesn't want him here. He wants him to move out so he can be a man and stand on his own 2 feet. And I'm just like, okay, because the son was like, well, he did move out, but things didn't work out. So I don't know if he moved out with a roommate, he moved out with a girl. I don't know. But it sounds like he had moved out, and maybe Vaughn thought that he was going to be in the house with just the two of them, but then he ended up having to come back. I don't know, child. But that's really all Trina got going on. And then we saw Trina go, finally she went out to dinner with the young lady from Escape, the girl that did the young lady, I don't want to call her girl, the young lady, Tamika, that did the bachelorette party for her. They went out on a double date. They're all really good friends. And Tamika was telling her, girl, you need to sing. Why you not singing? And Tracy said, I stopped singing because of all the criticism, and I let it get in my head, and it just wasn't fun anymore. And Tamika was like, girl, you can't let, like, people are going to talk about you whether you good or not, she said people are going to compare you to Tony, they're going to compare you to Tamar. It doesn't matter. Your voice is your voice. You have a God-given talent, and you need to use it. So yeah, yeah. So that was pretty much that. She did talk about the fact that the show was canceled, that, Sister Circle was canceled. She was like, yeah, I do miss that paycheck, honey. I said, I know you do. Bar Chicks was actually not open at the beginning of COVID. And so she said it's kind of a good thing that she said we were in the process of relocating and we hadn't opened up the new location yet. And so she said it was probably a good thing because we would have really lost a lot of money. So I guess the fact that they were closed, I don't know. Anyway, because I feel like y'all are closed. Y'all was losing money anyway, right? But okay, whatever. So that was Trina. Tony, listen. Tony is in LA being a hypochondriac, but here's what's funny. She is talking about how, she has to be safe because she has lupus and she has the compromised immune system and how bad things are and how nervous she is and how she's just staying in the house and how she's just on lockdown, child, and she ain't doing nothing and she's this, and her sons wanted to go get some food and she was like, you can't be going to get takeout, honey. We in COVID. We in lockdown. You can't be doing all of that. And then we look over and we see her whole assistant sitting there. Your sons can't go get no food, but your assistant can come in and out the house. Because I'm sure whatever he doing, he can do on Zoom. Okay. Then we see her talking to her manager, and her manager's telling her that the tour's been canceled. He was like, listen, ain't nobody going nowhere until at least the spring. Okay? So it is what it is. It is, so ain't no need stressing out. It is what it is, child. And then she said, child, let me tell you what she said. Girl. She said she was quarantining with her kids and her fiance. Tony, let it go. Just let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. So then we saw Tony talking to Tracy, talking to the brother, just reaching out to them. The conversation with Tracy, of course, was very awkward because Tracy is being very awkward. I mean, they're talking, but they talking like they knew each other in college and they just reconnected on Facebook and decided to call each other and see how everybody was doing. So how's the family? Good, good. Yeah, I got a baby. You do? Yeah, girl. My son is working. He working. Tony was like, what? She said, I didn't even know Kevin was working at Veterans Affairs, and I didn't know that her son was working through, and I didn't realize how she was really on the front lines of this. Yep, she is. And then we see Tracy. Tracy said she's still going to her therapist. She's going, through Zoom, and she's still working through things. And she said that, she told her husband, she said, I realize now that I don't have to be aggressive. I don't have to be a rah-rah. When I want to say something or I want to be heard, I can just use my words. I don't have to be loud and be aggressive. And that's what she's been learning in therapy. She said she's really not sure how she feels about Tawanda coming to visit because she's just not sure she's ready to see her sisters or wants to see her sisters. And then at the end, see, 10 minutes, I'm done. Then at the end, we see where Tony wants them to come and visit her. She said, I can't get on a plane. I can't go visit. But they're getting on planes and they're going everywhere they want to go so they can come and see me. I miss them. I want to see them. We really need to see each other. So, you know, they setting us up for what we saw in the previews for the second half of the season where they're going to go to one big house and try to work out their problems, child. But anyway, that's really all it was hitting for. They wasn't really giving me a whole lot in this episode. And I feel like I gave y'all more than I even thought I had. So, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments. Peace.